Hello, Faith Leader, and welcome to Breaktime. Today, Psalm 18:4 says these wonderful words: "The cords of death entangled me. The torrents of destruction overwhelmed me." Isn't it amazing that just the verse before this, if you go back and look at yesterday's video where David was talking about how God was worthy of praise and that he was removing him from his enemies. But now we have David in this place where he's sensing that death is near, that the cords of death were entangling him. He was in persecution. But here's the amazing thing about persecution. None of us ask for it. None of us enjoy it. But on the other side of it, it's amazing what can happen when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You know, David got to this place where he could pen this, that he would fear no evil. He wasn't going to allow the evil to overcome his heart and his mind to the place that he was captivated by it. And that place is what determined how he was going to respond to the world. That isn't how David did it. You know, he didn't allow his persecution to be the answer to how he was going to respond. He was going to allow God to be the answer of how he was going to respond in the midst of persecution, in the midst of suffering. We all face it. You might be in that place right now where you're sensing this same verse, you know, that you're just to this place where, man, death might even be that's how he was in his heart. Death was ever prevailing on him. I mean, he was in a very lowly place, but it doesn't say where or when or how, but here he is. And here we are. And some of you are probably going through some really, maybe some places that feel so excruciating that it feels like death. It's just so bad. But you know, in the midst of it, no one enjoys it. But know, you know, that you're not alone. God, who is greater than all of your circumstances, can give you joy even in the midst of suffering, even in the midst of persecution. But open your heart up to the place that you're like David. This is how it feels. This is how it feels. It feels ugly. It feels bad. You don't have to deny. It doesn't make you any stronger, denying your experience, denying your suffering. But what makes you stronger, what makes me stronger, is admitting where my source of strength comes from. I don't have the strength to pull me out of any dark place, but I know that God does. And the minute I rely upon him to pull me out is when the joy appears. It's not, don't allow the circumstances of life to determine how you're going to respond, but allow God to be the way that you respond. Allow how his promises to fulfill you to the place that's going to be how you respond in the midst of persecution. Allow him to be that source of strength. Have your eyes being focused on him. Find a place to praise today. Allow that to be the space. You know, just that, even if you're in the midst of work. I heard somebody say, go to the bathroom and shut the door just for a minute and say, oh God, I praise you.